So welcome back guys, my name is Amlan and in today's Make Launch Free campaign we go about looking at how we can properly set up Jio 4G SIM network in a Samsung device. Now this is the SIM tray which we have taken out and we have a Idea SIM and a Jio SIM with us. So this is basically the SIM tray and now you will see that it has two slots. If I bring it in front of you, I'll try and put it in focus. So this is basically the SIM 1 tray and this is the SIM 2 tray. So you will see that there's this small little groove given. So I will try and fit the Jio SIM in that groove. And then likewise the other slot, the SIM 2 slot. So that is actually for memory card and the SIM both. So I'll just pause while I do this. So you can see that we have put the SIMs properly. So the primary SIM that is in slot 1 is for Jio and the secondary is for Idea. Now what we are supposed to do is we are inserting this in the SIM tray. So you can see that this goes. So it's advisable to reboot the phone after this. So you can always restart. So let this restart. So it's now restarting. Okay. So typically what happens is it's advised to reboot your device once you want to configure the cellular or rather the mobile networks. Now, two things that I want you to take note of is that the primary SIM slot was the one in which we put the Jio SIM and the secondary SIM slot was where we put the Idea SIM. So we'll just look at it from the top. So I'll just put in the screen pattern, use the normal touch base. And you can see there are two type of networks which are trying to identify itself. The first one, presently we are not finding anything. And the second one is basically Idea wherein we are getting network. So we actually try and swipe down so that we can head towards settings. Once we are in our settings menu, what we are then supposed to do is we need to go towards connections. Now once we go towards connections, we need to actually come down and we need to click on mobile networks. Once we do that, you will see that there are basically two networks. The first network we can see network mode for something. The second is network mode for something else. So this is the primary SIM and this is the secondary SIM. Before we go and do something, let's go ahead and name this. Since I have already named it, you can see I have named my first SIM slot to be basically Jio. So I can set my name from here. So you can also set your names and other things so that you don't get confused as to what the primary SIM and the secondary SIM contains. So likewise I can do for my secondary SIM as well. I can set a name and I have set it Idea to match the corresponding network. Now that I know that my first SIM is for Jio and the second SIM is for Idea, I can actually now go to my mobile networks and when I now see this is actually for my first primary SIM which has been named Jio and has a Jio SIM inside it. Now if I click on it, I get various different mobile networks. Now I personally know that Jio does not work on 3G, it doesn't work on 2G or any of the other networks. It just works on pure 4G LTE, that too LTE. So I will click on LTE only, or maybe even if I do it for LTE 3G or 2G, it will try and find out whether there's a LTE network thereby. And if the area has one, it will configure itself to the 4G LTE. And you can see slowly the voice over LTE and the network strength has come back. And basically now the SIM1 has identified itself with Jio and we have got the signals. And likewise, when I actually go ahead and want to do it for Idea, what I can do is I can select it either to a 3G, 2G or maybe even to a LTE, but actually this mobile does not support dual SIM 4G capacities. And therefore, even if I try and do this to LTE, what happens is it will reset Jio to a 3G network, which is freakingly insane because Jio does not work on a 3G network. So the only option that I have actually in my Samsung device is to set up Jio with 4G network and actually let Idea be where it is, and that is let Idea be with a 3G network. That way at least I can have both SIMs working properly. So in case you are having a Samsung phone and you are not able to set up Jio 4G network and maybe this actually helps, just do let us know, and maybe if it doesn't, even then let us know what your problem is so that we can try and get your device and try and configuring the proper network for it. So if that helps, please don't mind subscribing to our channel. And yeah, click on that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload our videos, which we do pretty frequently. Thank you so much, guys. And I hope that this tutorial helps you set up your 4G Geo SIM network on your mobile devices, especially Samsung and on Android.